Holy fucking shit. I have never wanted to run over an entire crowd of pedestrians as much as I do right now. I want to fucking mow down at least 9 civilians in Libya because, no offense, Libya, but because I've just watched all of the Boku no Pico franchise. Hey, Bite enjoy playing T-Mod launcher while I talk about a fucking yaoi shota fuckfest. I don't even know where to start. The first one is Pico is the little kid, and the older middle-aged man is it's fucking disgusting, but it's yaoi, so enjoy it, I guess. It's essentially just the older middle-aged man exploiting the little kid for his own sexual pleasure and forcing him to cross-dress at one point. It's just fucking weird. And for some reason the kid has like this. There's just like the one scene in the car with the infamous car scene, which is the first sex scene in it. Features the kid somehow coming more than the old man, which and it like shoots up and like hits the roof of the car. It is the most retarded shit you will ever fucking watch if you ever watch it. And what makes it worse is something I noticed halfway through just listening. I was like, isn't Pico like a girl? Because the moans are not a male's moans. It is a middle-aged woman playing a like 9 or 10-year-old boy, and it is, oh, that just makes it 100 times worse. And so you're watching that, and it's actually kind of funny because the voice acting, especially by Tamotsu, whatever his fucking name is, the old middle-aged man, is atrocious. It's actually fucking terrible. And the art's crusty as shit. The audio is quiet as shit. And it's actually kind of funny to watch. And so you probably will laugh if you watch it and be disgusted. It's still horrible and you probably should not watch it. But if you do what I did and you watch the rest of the hentais, I have not read the doujin or read the non-hentai OVA special for under 18, which was for some reason fucking developed. If you decide to do what I did, just know that it's actually atrocious. The next one is Pico to Chico. Pico, like, meets a kid called Chico who's, like, fucking 7 and basically does what Tamotsu, fucking retard to, does to him, and just essentially just kind of sexualizes the kid in a weird way after doing an NTR move and watching Chico's sister, who just kind of let Pico in the house for whatever fucking reason, because like a friend, no reasoning. Just watch her masturbate through like a fucking hole in the ceiling. It's like one of those pull down attic ladders when you like pull the little thingy and it like opens up and the ladder comes down. It's like that, but they're just peeking through that, watching his sister masturbate. It's the only thing with female interaction. And by interaction, I mean there's no actual direct contact. God bless. But it's just. It gets even worse. So he basically just like forces the poor kid into like a sex. And he just like gives Chico a blowjob and then they like start dating. And then for some reason the sister just kind of leaves and is like, oh yep, by the way, the 9-year-old, 10-year-old, and 7-year-old who are having sex that I don't know about and are spying on me while I masturbate. Yeah, you guys can go ahead and own the house for now. I'm just gonna leave you to a bunch of vibrators and dildos and maid outfits. And so obviously there was cross dressing in the original. I didn't bring that up. I don't think, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. There's even more cross-dressing. It's an even bigger thing in fucking Pico to Chico than it was in Boku no Pico. And they use the vibrators, and there's like sex, and it's fucking weird. And the cum is no longer just like from the two kids. It's no longer like more than an adult. And then the mom just like comes home and just like jerks off to her kid, essentially getting. I mean, it's like fucked up because he's obviously Chico's being used for like sexual pleasure essentially, and so I guess it might constitute as rape, and she's just like masturbating to her son getting pegged. It's so it's so weird. And then there's like one scene that's before that, and it's like Pico's like hung by like he's like holding like strings in a barn. And it looks like the fucking barn from Friday the 13th Part 3. He's just like holding like that little string thing, and he's just getting his dick sucked. And it's looks like something straight out of Euphoria. It's just like I'm waiting for like the gore, but it's just not gore. It's a Yowie Shota fucking virgin fuckfest. And that's pretty bad. But did I mention that the art is also extremely crusty, and it's still a woman that plays Pico? I don't know about Chico. I wouldn't be surprised if a woman played Chico. I wouldn't actually care, to be honest. It's nothing could salvage it. Both of those are a 1 out of 10. The art is just so fucking crusty. But the soundtrack's pretty good. And then comes Boku no Pico OVA 3, or Pico x CoCo x Chico. Not Kanjo x Kanjo x Kanjo, but the much worse, similar sounding title. Hentai, which for some reason is not on H Anime. I don't know why Boku no Pico is not on H Anime. I mean, they have the thing I think I mentioned earlier, Gaki no Madete Yara no Oshi. I don't know if I mentioned it in this or in an outdated cut, but if I didn't mention it in this, I'll mention it again. That one, which I'll just call GY. GY is a hentai where a guy at a wedding like wants to just become a kid and like rape the people that did him wrong when he was a kid. It's really fucking weird, but it's somehow less disturbing. By selfish. That's on H Anime, but Boku no Pico isn't. Whatever. Pico to Chico, or Pico x CoCo x Chico is the third entry, and God bless, the final 30-minute, fucking half an hour entry, meaning I spent an hour and 30 minutes on that. Probably like an hour and 39 minutes, so almost an hour and 40 minutes I spent on that fucking shit. And it is, they did the better with the backdrop, but the characters are still crusty as shit. The art's crusty as shit. And did I mention in Pico to Chico that the audio was way too fucking loud? Granted, I watched it on Kiss Hentai, but the audio in it is so loud in both of them. It is fucking, it's like eardrum shattering. It is somehow worse than the beginning of Steady X Study, and I don't know how you get worse than that when that's on fucking Billy. But the characters are crusty as shit, and there's this one scene where they're looking for CoCo, and Pico and Chico run into like the subway room, and they're entering the door and they're calling for CoCo, and it just looks like they're like shittily cropped JPEGs on a fucking horribly shaded, like, it's like a room in a subway. I cannot describe it well, but it's just fucking weird, and it looks stupid. They try and do like a fake out that like the girl is the girl, quote unquote, CoCo, who's a girl's name, looks like a girl, much like Pico, is voiced by a girl, also much like Pico, and they try and do like a thing so she's like, masturbating on the bed, and Pico's just, like, oh shit, bro, time to cuck the masturbation again. And so he's, doing a cuckold move and jerking off during it. And then they just, like, show you, like, this, it's so fucking stupid. And it's so forced. And they, like, show you, oh shit, it's a dick. It's a male. It's so fucking bad. And so you watch all that, right? And you're confused. You want to die. It is so confusing towards the end. There is no fucking story. There is... Pico x CoCo x Chico's end is just absolutely... it is just fucking ass. There's no story. Whatever was there of the little to no story is just entirely derailed and just fucking destroyed. It makes no sense. You don't know what's going on. And at the end with the whole orgy thing, it hurts to watch. It's not because they're underage. It's not because it's like a weird like yaoi female portraying. It's because of the way they like just spin the animation. It just like spins. It hurts to watch, and oh, it's so bad. Not to mention at the very beginning of it, Chico tries to like make jokes with Pico, and he like draws eyebrows on a dog, and the dog looks like fucking Walter, and it's so bad, so stupid, and it goes from Walter, to then like a fucking car with a wing on it. It's supposed to be funny, and it is so unfunny. It is like the least funny shit you will ever fucking watch. And that's about all I have to say on fucking Boku no Pico, Pico to Chico, and Pico x CoCo x Chico, or Boku no Pico 1, Boku no Pico 2, Boku no Pico 3. It's fucking terrible. I'm probably gonna watch Pico My Little Summer Story next, which is like the edited down version of the first one that isn't NSFW, and then I'll have to fucking read the Dojin. I advise you don't watch it. If you want to torture yourself and you're a fucking hardcore masochist, go ahead. If you're also into Shota Yaoi, which is a very weird combination, and shit plot with a bit of NTR kind of vibes during it, watch it, I guess, if you're into that. And if you're into pedophilia, especially the first one, because it's essentially just pedophilia. The guy is like middle-aged, and the kid is like fucking 9 or 10, portrayed by a woman, and he's getting sexually exploited. And it's also, if you're not like cross-dressing, because Pico to CoCo to Pico x CoCo x Chico, the cross-dressing they just dress like females. They're just like wearing panis, not panis, pantsu. And it's fucking, it's so weird. Nothing against cross-dressing, it's just, it doesn't work in the context. And that's about all I have to say. Fuck you, Pico, fuck you, Chico, and fuck you, CoCo. You, God. So, as I said in the beginning, I do want to just run over a bunch of pedestrians. So I think I'm going to go ahead and hit the gym, so to speak. I'll see you on the news whenever I'm interviewed for my mass terrorist attack. And, yeah, peace out, I guess. Please don't fucking watch it. Do not torture yourself. Just please do not.